Hello everyone, welcome to round 5 of the Asian Nations Chess Cup here in ZaoZhuang, China.
Round 5, please start.
India beat Kazakhstan with a winning point scored by GM Negi on both 3, while games on both 1, 2 and 4 were drawn. Now please watch the interview with GM Negi about this critical game.
I came here to China after winning the Asian Championship in Vietnam. It was a long journey, almost 20 hours of travel, but I had a few rest days. The tournament in Vietnam was very successful for me. I ended up on 7/9. Of course, the end was rather disappointing because I was really hoping to create a really big score, a record score of something like 8/9. But in the last round, I managed to lose in a complicated position. I think I should have made a draw against Salim Saleh. But still, the tournament was very exciting. A lot of fighting chess in my games. I think all decisive games. So again, I was in Asian Team Championship, so I was playing more or less similar players. So I didn't know what to expect. So far, the tournament has been going it has been going decently for me. I won the first round rather easily against a Singaporean player, but the second round I had a rematch with Ding Liren from China. We played in Vietnam, where I had won a crucial game. But this time, again, in a very crucial game for both the teams, he won against me in a slow technical game, and I just blundered on the 40th move, or just before the 40th move. I think, that game was a big disappointment, of course, because if I had managed to hold the draw, our team, India, we were beating China 2.5, 1.5, and it would have really cleared the path for us for another Asian gold for me. But now China and India, we are both leading jointly, so the board points become very important, I believe. But we'll try to win the rest of our games. Today we are playing against Kazakhstan. I just finished my game against Rustam Kusnutdinov. We had a really crazy wild game. He played the dragon variation and I went for the rather solid and safe bishop e2, knight b3 variation. I didn't really feel like going into the main lines and trying because he's a good tactical player. But we got a really difficult middle game position, I think, where every move was a big effort. So by move 20, we both had almost like 10 minutes. And he played the move f5, which I think was inaccurate. b4 was probably a better move. After f5, I think I'm better, but because of the lack of time, it was difficult to play, I think, the most accurate game. f5 was based on the idea of sacrificing the b5 pawn, and initially I thought white has a clear advantage. But he found a really strong idea with h5, knight g4 that took me by surprise. And then we ended up in the position with opposite color bishops and all major pieces. That position was really crazy because he had some initiative. I seemed to have a dangerous attack. We had no time. I can't say how to assess the position, but somehow I managed to hold my nerve. And the move rook e1 was very important because at that point black could even be better, but after rook e1, suddenly practically it became a bit difficult for him to find the most accurate way, and he collapsed in the time pressure.
India and China won by similar 2.5, 1.5, slates to maintain their lead after 5 rounds of the Asian Nations Cup in ZaoZhuang, China. China 1 and India are tied with 9 match points each. China 2 is in third slot with 7 points, followed by Kazakhstan in fourth with 6 points. Vietnam, Mongolia, Indonesia, Iran, and Iraq are tied at 5 points each. China 1 beat Vietnam on the win by Li Chao, also on ball 3, while the other balls were drawn.
China 2 edged Iran 2.5, 1.5 on wins by GM's ZhaoZhuang and Wen Yang, but on board 1, GM Exxon outweighed GM Weiqi.
Indonesia drew 2-2 with Iraq.
Mongolia crushed Singapore 3-1.
Yemen beat Hong Kong 3-1.
The Korea blanked Chinese Taipei 4-0.
In the women's division, China 1 outclassed Kazakhstan 3.5 to widen their solo lead.
China 3 kept pace, beating Mongolia 3.5.
China 2 edged Vietnam 2.5, 1.5.
India crushed Indonesia 3-1.
And Singapore upset Iran 3-1.
Here are the leaders after 5 rounds. In the men's, China 1 and India are tied with 9 match points each. China 2 is in third slot with 7 points. Kazakhstan is in fourth with 6 points. Vietnam, Mongolia, Indonesia, Iran, and Iraq are tied at 5 points each. In tomorrow's 6 rounds, India plays China 2 while China 1 plays Iran. In the women's,
China 1 is alone with 10 match points. India is in second with 8 points. China 3 with 7 and China 2 with 6 points. Iran has 5 points followed by Indonesia with 4 points.
In round 6 tomorrow, China 1 plays Singapore while India faces Iran. See you tomorrow!
This is a Chinese art. It's made of one stone. You see, it's very beautiful. There is a bridge, and many people stand there. They are looking on maybe there is a river, and they are looking downstairs.